Smith. Let me count my 5'4". Name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my for my survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right there's on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like the warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Yes, I'm back on my block. Rather unique. Bucktown. This on that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York, with a pitchfork. Look at you go! Okay, you better. Look! Go! Go! Look at you go! Okay, you better. Look! Yeah! One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's bad about it.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish a ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, That patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on.
Now Wilson. And incomplete to open things up.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Wilson now off the bootleg. And a grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, Langford. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
6-18.
Now after the INT, it's Carr to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. To throw his Carr. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Now it's Lockett. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll run with Langford to begin the drive. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Wilson. And this one is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They'll try to run for the 1st with Langford. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
On 1st down, Wilson. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 52 yards. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Way down right around the 12. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
A handoff, Jeremy Langford. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here now, Johnny Townsend on for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Now Wilson on 1st down. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point safely through, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Come on, let's go.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And here's Wilson off the bootleg. it. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. It's a big play on third down for the Seahawks. 42 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissic. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Come on, let's go.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Frank Clark. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And a right side completion here by LaFell. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Carr. Cooper's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Carr now on 1st down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Carr. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Cooper was the intended target, and it's third down. The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, Carr. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. Oh, look at the juke. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Third quarter starts with a run by Jeremy Langford. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On second down, here's Wilson. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Wilson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
second down, Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. Wilson now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. Off the bootleg, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Wilson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Play action. It's Wilson. And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And it's 3rd and short. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Wilson finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing again here. Wilson. He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Throws left side, complete to Brandon Marshall. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. Over the middle, and it's caught. Brandon Marshall. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Welcome back now here in London, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Out to kick is Janikowski. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down. On play action. Now Carr. Over the middle. Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. On first down, Carr. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. On second down, Washington. And he'll be taken down at the 34. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The former first-rounder, Barkevious Mingo. And that's going to make it fourth down. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
Play action. Now Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The Seahawks on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Carr to throw. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on for the 5th time here today. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, Wilson. And this is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Again on 2nd and 10. It's Wilson. Take Carradine. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Carradine, the former second-round pick out of Florida State.
Yeah, remember he had a knee injury coming out of Florida State, essentially redshirted his first year with San Francisco. Only 5.5 sacks during his time with the 49ers, but how about that last play? The tank was streaking towards the quarterback.
That move across the bay rejuvenated him. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson back into his end zone. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And how about this for a setup? The ball will go over on downs at the 1-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield. 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run it with Johnson. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold them to 3 to keep this a 1-score game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, Those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense are saying go right ahead with those. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Back to throw. Oh, fighting off the defender. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 1st down Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to hit his big receiver, Brandon Marshall, and it's 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Now Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders are going to win the football game. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Oakland, it'll be a much happier locker room here as they get that first win after 5 straight losses to start the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.